Joined today by one of Team Evolve's most exciting young fighters, set to make his third appearance inside the Virtuous Cage. He sits 2-0,
That's good.
and he is ready to go up and make another statement in County Tyrone, in my part of the world. Is it Caolan Duncan?
Yes,
How are you, sir?
I'm feeling well, Brian. Hey, how are you? How you keep on?
I'm I'm good. I'm good. So we're just 8 days out from the fight now. So finishing touches and preparation. How are you feeling?
Feeling fresh. It's the best camp I've ever had. To be fair, I've had my nutrition down. I've had my stretching, everything. My recovery's great. Uh, down the night for my last spar, my last genuine session. Probably gonna give it a good wee bit, and then a weekend of rest and get everything else in line.
Yeah, so this is going to be your last session tonight, and
Yeah.
evolve in terms of like sparring and stuff like that. How do you prepare for your last session? Is this a kind of move about? You don't be going hard. You don't be doing anything
Nah,
serious this week.
not be trying to take heads off, like, but just footwork, find the outside foot, stuff like that. There.
Brilliant. And tell me, are you busy tomorrow?
Tomorrow, oh fuck, we have a big day ahead of us tomorrow. Jake, my cousin Jake's fighting on that cage conflict. So
Yeah,
buddy day tomorrow. See, he's making weight this morning. We were in the sauna this morning, and shit, we had a tough last few kilo to go, but he got them shed off, no sweat. He's a champion, that man.
yeah. Like how does that feel? Like you get to not only train with your cousin Jake, but you also get to go. Are you going to be cornering him, or are you just going up to watch?
We corner each other's every fight. That's the plan for the rest of the until we're on the same card, obviously.
Yeah.
But that's the plan.
And then how does that feel then? Coming up, you're going from training to now coaching. How do you feel watching Jake fight? Do you get nervous? Do you get excited?
Way more nervous on my fights. Watching him's like, man, I know I know and I'm confident in his ability, but there's something about the walk. My heart goes. I'd be nervous as shit.
Yeah, yeah.
To be
I
honest.
found that actually at the last chaos walking out with Oren. I
Yeah.
felt more nervous walking out with him than I did walking out myself then later on that evening.
It's because
It's
you're invested in the person, and then
it's a strange thing for to try and get people to understand that you're more nervous for watching one of your teammates fight than you're fighting
ah,
yourself.
it's a hundred
So
percent.
we have Jake up tomorrow, and then we have the whole crew's going next week. There's a few fighters up next week.
Ah,
What's the feeling like in Evolve? I was down last week. Everybody seems to be in good spirits. Everybody seems
oh,
to be energetic. There's a real good energy around Evolve.
let's hit the moment. We've got a bit of momentum, and everyone's coming up. We're like a sea that's rising, and we're all the ships, and we keep open. Every time someone's level goes up, the rest of us go up with them. It's actually great. There's no one falling behind. We have a lot of good partners on at the moment, and everyone's dedicated and proper on it at the moment.
Yeah, this is a new generation of Evolve fighters. You are really, really close knit to see you are training together. Even when you aren't fighting, you are still training with each other and helping each other. Like, how
Yeah.
does that feel to have such a good team behind you, and especially guys that are all friends? You aren't just teammates; you're all friends, and you're all looking out for each other. Does it make you want to train more? Does it make you want to push yourself to be a better fighter when you're with these
A
guys?
hundred percent. That's what I'm saying. Like, and there's like a second home. Everyone's like the crack's great, and the morale's high at all times. So there's never a dull day in there. And like the fact that everyone wants everyone to get better, just it helps everyone excel. You know what I mean? It's like you can't really go on and get good yourself. You need the ship to be full to get the where you want to be quicker. There's no
Oh
point
yeah,
going on
yeah.
that ship again.
Yeah, that's one thing about MMA and training. MMA, iron sharpens iron. You
Hundred
kind of
percent.
the better your teammates get, the better you have to get, or you fall behind. Nobody wants to fall
Agreed.
behind.
Yeah.
So we're at Virtus next. This is going to be next Saturday, the 14th of March. This will be your third time inside the Virtus cage. This will be your third novice fight. Do you see this
Hundred
being your
percent.
last novice fight, or do you plan to go amateurs very, very soon?
I'm just going to leave it under the hands of my coach, Jason. See whatever Jason says, I'm going to follow. He's always right. Like, you know what I mean? Every time he's made a call, he's been about too long to go against his opinion. So if he thinks I'm ready, I'm ready. If he thinks one or two more, I'll go to one or two more. I'm not bothered. Like, I could do as many fights as I can get. Just experience, experience, experience.
Yeah, I mean he's one of the godfathers of MMA. He's one of the founders of MMA
Yeah,
in the country, especially around the northwest. So he's probably forgotten more about MMA than we'll ever learn. And you
100%.
talk about him and his instructions there. I watched your Alpha Project fight back from last year. It was a fight of definitely two different Keelans. Kind of weathered a bit of the storm at the end of the first
Yeah,
round, and then the
100%.
instructions that you could hear clearly from Jason was let the
Uh,
hands go.
I,
Once you let
I
them
went
hands go, it didn't last long in round two.
done, done the toe. I went done. You see the first round, free side kicks and stuff, and he's a grabber, so he's actually going to chase that there leg. And see, as soon as he said just hands, that's all I did. And straight away, he was bang on the money. Like, I sent him out there. I was like, I had to give it to you. Hey, you know your stuff. You really do know your stuff. Like,
Yeah, that's one of the things I actually in my first Alpha Project fight, he was in my corner
yeah,
and he gave me instructions at the end of round two, and I didn't listen to him, and I ended
did
up
you know?
losing the fight then by submission. And it's one of the things I go, why didn't I just listen to him? The man's a genius about
He
MMA. He
is.
knows everything about MMA. So
He
we're,
really is.
we're the last time you fought a guy that was predominantly a grappler from Rhino Limavady in the Alpha Project.
Yeah,
Well out the storm in the first round, finished him in the second. But in your first fight that you had on the Virtuous card, it was actually a kind of different kind of fight for you. It shows how much of an all rounder you are. You actually won with slick guillotine, but not
yeah,
just get won by the guillotine. The way you were able to adjust in the scrambles and get the guillotine locked up showed a lot more grappling experience than or expertise and technique than maybe people would think you have because you are
yeah,
such a slick striker. Do you think
yeah.
because you're kind of known as a striker and your hands are so good that people underestimate your grappling?
I don't think people will actually think I have a grappling game apart from that first fight, obviously. But I don't like to impose my grappling. I'd rather like retaliate, like counter wrestle, or like if I go to the ground, so be it. But you'll not catch me trying to go to the ground and stay on the ground and look for submissions unless they come to me. I sort of get on there and just feel myself stand up. I enjoy stand up. Like I feel like I can flow. But I've always got that to back myself up. I wouldn't say I'm better in one area. I'd say I'm just a wee bit of here, there, and all around just really.
Yeah, that's kind of thing because I was actually saying to Jack whenever the season you were doing the Alpha Project and we were in and for the rounds at night, I wasn't actually fighting that season. Um,
Yeah.
I never sparred you because
Yeah, can't get one.
because because you just there was you were never horrible, but I always felt that you brought a level of intensity that I just wasn't ready for at my inexperience. And I did see
The
you torment a few boys over there, and I kind of just says I'm too
few
old
boys
to stay
got
away. I think maybe I grappled you once and that was it.
I very grapple. I when I had on your knee, so
Mm.
I remember that. Yeah,
But
I,
that's the thing about it. And then I was kind of new to going into MMA and new to going into sparring, and I was kind of feared of everybody. But one of the
you
good
yeah,
things about being in Evolve is, like I was saying to Jack, you treated me like a teammate.
yeah, 100%.
As soon as I come in, I felt like I was one of yous and I was included, and even things like us going up on that morning, everybody going up together to Virtus and
Good
all that.
crack.
Like it was a great experience for me for my first trip into MMA. Is that something you find, when people come and they talk about Evolve, when your friends come to Evolve for the first time, is just the atmosphere and the friendliness and how welcoming the place is?
Yeah, that's like one thing about there. It's like family nearly. Like everything you come on, there's no like sitting and staying by yourself. Like there's people coming over and telling you, "Come on, do you want to work? Do you want to work on?" Or like there's no one goes on and gets their head punched on the first day on. It's always tap tap tap. It's usually the newcomers that are trying to punch people's heads on actually. Whereas you
Yeah,
would think it's the other way about. But on Evolve, we're tame like until we're in the cage. It's a
yeah.
good environment.
And then the lead comes off and you're let loose.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
good part.
it was a great experience for me being in there and being in with the team of all boys, and I still I was over last week. I pop over every now and again because I
Yeah.
have a few of these guys now fighting on the Alpha Project, and I'm going to be commentating. So just want to kind of keep in, and I always feel very welcome, and Jason always makes me feel very welcome when we come over. This podcast is sponsored by King of Cops. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, or kingofcops.co.uk for your chance to win life-changing prizes with realistic odds. Win cars, cash, holidays, and instant prizes from as little as 1p. That's kingofcops.co.uk.
Yeah.
So go back to a little bit about you. So we're talking about your hands and how slick your hands are and how good actually how good your footwork and movement is. I think I never even touched on that. What was your background before you started MMA, or is MMA your first combat sport?
Very first, I got a bag at the back, and started hitting it a wee bit, and then said, "Let's go." Got into the gym. I said to myself, "I'll give myself a week. If I'm not as good, I thought I was good, and I said if I'm as good as I think I am, my coach he'll say something. He'll say, oh, there might be something there." And if he doesn't in a week, I said, "I'm going to stop. I'm not going to bother. No point putting myself on the line." And I went on the first day or two. He said, "I know there's something there in your hands." So I stuck at it. And I just worked on the striking myself and the gym, going over videos, just repeating technique after technique. And it's only recently I've got as clean as I am. Like I was a bit clunky beforehand, but recently I feel like I'm on a whole new level, 100%.
Yeah, because even watching you move about last week,
Yeah.
you put me in mind of somebody. If somebody had said to me, what do you think his background? And I would have said boxing,
Uh,
just because of the you slick footwork, good head movement, and good hands. So that's good to see that you've really taken it. How long were you actually training before you had that first fight on Virtus?
uh, I was in the gym about a year and a half, but I was out of a serious chest injury for like nearly 8 months. So I had a good solid between 6 and 9 months training for before I first fight.
And that kind of the injury then just kind of killed the momentum for you.
Yeah, by the time I haven't fought as much as I'd like to, but I feel like I'm on the right path now, where I'm looking after my body correctly and really set myself up for the later stages.
Yeah, that's good. That's very wise. Funny that's one thing about you two Duncan boys is you aren't rushing anything. You are going to do what has to be done, and you are going to kind of do it the right way, improve bit by
100%.
bit, get better and better, and then gradually increase the level of competition that you're going to be facing.
Yeah,
So you're going to be facing a guy, Tristan Walsh from Era Grappling, and Tom
100%.
Moore under the tutelage of one of Ireland's top grapplers and elite black belts, Kieran Davern. Do you look at your guys, your opponents, or at this level, are you just a what happens happens and react to what happens on the day kind of fighter?
See, I've watched the first K1 bouts, but I only went over them twice. It was just more to get a feel of what way he stands, what he likes to throw. But I don't really look for errors, or I'm not trying to find where he slips up. I'm not trying to base my game off of his flaws, because then I'm going to not fight my own game. So I'd rather just impose my own game, if you get me.
Yeah, especially when you're watching him fight a different combat sport than what you're going to be
Ah,
competing
treat.
in, and then
Yeah,
at the novice level, there's not much kind of it's really kind of pointless game planning and things like that because this is the learning curve. So this is a go in
yeah,
there and see what happens kind of thing.
100%.
Um, but that's the beauty of fighting novice, especially now in the shows, is you're getting to have your novice fight. You're getting that limited rule set to break you into MMA, and you're getting to do it in an environment at a big time show with production and music and walkouts and things like that. Do you feel nervous walking out?
Very first fight, nah, I didn't really have the nerves until the bell went and we we're facing each other. But it goes straight away, obviously. But my last fight, for some reason, I think it was because your man was a blue belt. And I just didn't have any credibility. I was just a boy that just showed up at the gym one day. I was thinking to myself, right, I'm on for a challenge here. And then me wrestling was good, like me take down defense and stuff like that. And I knew I could defend subs, so if I went, I could just hold out to the end of the round. So I knew I could do that, but like for some reason, the walkout, I was like breathing from my mouth and stuff. And but this time round, the nerves aren't there. That's more excitement. Like every gym session I go to, I'm just hyping the rest of the team up, and I'm feeling it this time. So I'm gonna go on there this time and actually enjoy myself and put on a showcase and want to actually display what I've worked on instead of just going on there and saying, right, let's get this over with. If you get me.
Yeah, that's kind of I feel that sometimes even like speaking to some of the alpha guys and they're talking about their opponent, what their opponent does, and I think that the greatest thing you can do as an MMA fighter is go in there and fight your fight and make the other fighter fight your fight.
Yeah,
That's the kind of that establishes sets you up. Um,
100%.
so after we get this fight over, what is the plan for the year? Are we planning to try and fight as much as we can? Or do you want to keep busy? Are you trying to get some more fights as quick as you can? Because Jake has two lined up.
Who lined up? Right? He's got the belt lined up in April. It's gonna be
Mm.
a good one. So I'm planning to go 4 or 5, four minimum. 5, 6 if I'm lucky. So looking to get active and put my foot on the door this year. Get the name out there because I know it's there. It's just I haven't been able to be active, so I'm just sort of sitting in the shadows at the moment. But I feel like once I put my foot in the door this year, it'll be a name to be talked about.
Yeah, yeah, and that's once you actually make that progression up to the amateur kind of level, that's when you start getting the visibility around the rest of the
Yeah,
country where people can start to see, and that's when you start to get the kind of fights. Now, the beauty about fighting up here in the north is this is where all the shows are, barring one or two down south. So there's plenty of opportunities. You know, we have like Jake's on Wrath, there's Valor coming up, there's the Cage Conflicts, there's the IURs. So once you get in, get yourself established, get this fight over, it's would be pretty easy to keep yourself active and get in there and
yeah.
start to kind of make the name for yourself. Is that what you feel that this 2026 is going to be about? Is about establishing and having people actually talking about you?
Uh that's exactly what this year's for. All the rest of the years were a build up, setting the blocks up and the stepping stones, and now it's like the start of the journey. Really, this is where it actually just begins.
Yeah, and with that kind of generation of evolved fighters that you're coming up with, you know, with a Finn and Fraser and Jake, big stuff leading the charge. He's the loudest of the lot. You know, he makes a
Yeah,
lot of
he is.
noise. You know, it's
He
a
is.
great thing, and I love actually watching and seeing your Instagrams where you guys are in there like 12 o'clock during the week. Working on things, doing things. That's and everybody's pushing each other. That means that you can there's no excuse not to get better and drag everybody else up with you. This core group of about 7 or 8 of you, and I see it when I'm over there, it's just amazing to watch. The atmosphere is good, the personalities, there's some great personalities there, and do you think that
100%.
this is going to be a good year for Team Evolve? They start to make a statement, start to put their stamp on back on the MMA world in the north of Ireland?
This is the new wave, Brian. 100%. The new wave of MMA is coming free, and there's a few boys in Evolve, few select, and we're all youngers too. And then Sean, obviously the older one, like he's leading the ship. But this is the new wave. Like we're on doing like for strength and conditioning sessions, hot sessions, all year round. Doesn't matter if we're in camp. We're training all year round the way we would for a fight camp, and there's no one stopping us, and there's no laziness, and there's only accountability and just discipline. I don't notice any slacking in our core group, as you say. We're laser focused on the task ahead, always, always.
And you've got two of the top MMA guys, MMA brains in the country, and John Rosper and Jason McCabe
Right
at the
thing.
helm, steering the ship for you young guys there
Yeah,
to make a name for yourself. It's really, really, really great to see. Because I'm fucking such a big fan of Jason McCabe and I love going
right
down
thing.
and training and evolve, even though they give me stick about being from Strabane, but
He's from Strabane himself.
he's from Strabane himself. So we'll wrap this up here now very, very shortly. So it's going to be Virtuous number 5, Saturday the 14th of March. It's in Healy Park in Oma. Tickets are still available. You can still get tickets from the fighters, but they're selling really, really fast. It will be available on pay-per-view. Chance to see Caolan make the walk. See now what all this preparation and hard work has been for, and for him to make a statement, come out, and then we'll see what happens from there. It's a name you must remember. Look out for it on any fight cards. I'm sure all the promoters will be looking for it. Caolan Duncan. Um, all the best for your fight next Saturday. Anything you want to add before we go?
I appreciate it, Brian. One more thing. My mouth doesn't write checks that my hands can't cash. So if I say I'm going to go out and do something, just know it's going to get done. Without a doubt. That should be
Amazing.
all.
Amazing. That is the ultimate. That is the attitude that you want in an MMA
He's right.
fighter. I am really, really looking forward to this because I'll be commentating for the Alpha Project, but come your fight, I'll be watching. And I'm really, really looking
Happy
forward
days.
to it. I cannot wait for this. Team Evolve 2026, the year that Evolve evolves and becomes
Yeah,
the biggest and best gym in all of
that's the
Northern
one.
Ireland.
That's the one there, Brian.
Thank you
That's
very
the
much for
one.
your time.
100%, Brian. Thank you very much. I'll get chat to you later on in the nature.